Because of you guys, I'm where I'm at today. And I'm thankful for that.
Welcome to the Okie Woodsman channel. We're gonna split some firewood today.
Awesome. I'm excited to work with you, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, let's swap hats now. How about that? I think he did pretty good. This is gonna be the first time I've operated this machine having help. So my son has been recruited to come out here and keep rounds towards the machine. My goal is to never leave this operating position. The most important thing we can do though is be safe. I have some brightly colored gloves that my son is gonna wear, and I wanna see how this is gonna work. We're both gonna be wearing ear protection. He's got safety glasses. Let's get started. So first things first is you gotta put it on. Okay, then you gotta get it to choke. You gotta pull it, buddy. Now take it off choke. Awesome. Okay. Okay, you can take those four. Yep. You can take those pieces. Go ahead. Okay, you want to do another one? Okay. Thank you. Go ahead. Swap with me. Take your hand off the lever. There. Okay. Okay. Keep going. Yep. This was a really cool experiment to work with my youngest son. He really does like getting out and doing things with me. It was really neat to run this splitter for the first time with another set of hands. And his primary thing was to keep me stocked with wood and to remove wood off of the table once I was done with it. I think he did a darn good job. Now, I did have him for a limited amount of time because he was waiting for his teacher or his mother to get done with his brother in terms of their school lessons, and he was going to have to go back inside and do some more schooling. But he got to take a break, get away from the reading, the books, the arithmetic, all of that, and got to spend some time with me. I certainly appreciate his help, and since this video was shot, I have done this again with my wife splitting and me clearing the table. With that scenario, we moved very quickly. This was a big help, having him and I both here, but where I was able to get my hands a little closer to the knife and my wife was able to control the lever and maintain splitting, we really got efficient. The boys on that job did a good job too. They just basically kept rolling rounds or bringing rounds over to us. I hope you're enjoying this video. Here in a minute, I will lose him and I will go ahead and split on my own, and you'll see the workflow change. Come right over on the side. So my workflow is considerably slower when I don't have at least one additional hands of help. All right, so tell me how you think it went. Talk to me about how the flow went with you and I. Did you feel like, was I going faster than you could handle or what?
You were going a little fast.
I was going a little fast. So do you think a third person would be helpful?
Yes.
I think a third person could be helpful because what was happening there is as the wood starts getting a little bit further away from here, you start off a little bit fast where your help is not, doesn't have something to do for quite a while. And then all of a sudden what happens is you burn through the wood right by you, and then the wood needs to start coming from a little bit further. One of the most important things I noticed is to not be in a hurry when setting the wood on the ramp. Because did you notice what happened is when it was disorganized, what happened is it flew off. Okay, so you did excellent. Thank you for your help. Okay, was the communication okay? I know I told you I was going to be making eye contact with you, but I hardly did, huh?
Yeah.
I was kind of just tapping stuff and pushing it your direction. Did that work okay?
Yeah.
You kind of knew for the most part?
Yeah.
Okay. The more we do it, the better we'll get, right?
Yeah.
All right. Love you, son.
Love you.
So anyway, I think that went fairly well. I stole him for a little bit. He was caught up on his schoolwork and his brother wasn't done. So I went ahead and took him and and he wanted to come out here and try this. I also figured I'd let him have a go of the controls as well. I think he did pretty well. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and keep rolling on this. My flow is actually going to slow down quite a bit. It'll be interesting to see as I'm by myself if you all can tell the change in pace. Let's get going. So I can tell my flow is definitely slowed down a little bit. Man, oh man, after working with my boy, I certainly did slow down a little bit. I like running this 4-way wedge, and what's cool is with the size of wood that I'm going after, I am able to go ahead and run that knife over the splits one more time, and it often works out really well. You can see here I'm able to keep working through here. With the 4-way wedge, you really do get that table full of wood in a hurry. And also in a moment here, you'll see something that you need to watch out for. Everything's going good here. And I'm going to clear this table here pretty quickly. I'm going to get a new load. And man, oh man, it is impressive. One thing I didn't really realize is how much slash you would have coming off of the splitter as you're going through this much wood. I had seen that before and thought, I've never, when you hand split wood, it's not so bad. But with the splitter, you do get a little bit of extra, it seems. And I don't know, maybe I'm just noticing it a little bit more. But check out this right here. This is when you gotta be smart. This could have easily gone in here and busted my components, so you gotta stop. When you think about running a 4-way wedge, there's certainly a limitation of when you should and shouldn't be using it. And I just found that just now. Essentially, if you try to run material that's too big, you do risk, not that the machine can't handle it, but you do risk potentially pushing it past the stop if you're not paying attention, and you could certainly cause some damage on the machine. So, something to be mindful of. It's just something to be aware of. Oh gosh, this is a big old piece of wood. This is gonna be a hard one. This is a nasty piece of wood right here. Let's see how this one does. This was a crotch piece. I'm gonna do an inefficient split first, because to be smart, you should probably whittle down on this thing, but let's see what it does. Okay. In this circumstance, I'm not gonna fight it. Nice. So I did have to wrestle the piece a little bit. That's partially because I was testing the limits. But let's go ahead and, I'm also gonna go ahead and tilt that down a hair so I don't have pieces rolling at me. Oh, this is the first piece. This is the first piece I've had that happen to. I'm just curious, let's flip it 180 and let's see what happens. Wow. Big old crotch piece right there. But as you can tell, by not being impatient, it's not that hard to whittle down on something. That was fine. I think that worked out fine. All right, let's see what happens here now. Let's see, this is that hard side again. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to crack it. Yeah, it did it just fine. So let's take a look. That's what it did before. Cool. I'd say that's usable firewood now, everybody. Will it split? Nope. This way. Well, I'd say it did pretty good on that one piece. That's the first time I've had the splitter get stopped on anything. And if you read your wood, you probably won't ever have that happen. But what I was doing is I was going straight down the middle in a crotch piece just to see. That had a whole bunch of intersecting fibers, that was going to be tough. That's why I set that up. When I just oriented it slightly different, it started whittling down just fine. Pretty incredible. I can't see why you would need to split more than that through something more difficult, because frankly, once that wood is that gnarly, it doesn't produce that good of firewood anyway. So I think it did great. Let me know what your thoughts are. My trailer is full. It's very full. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up a couple pieces that flew out because I've been throwing them. Let's see what we got here. So if I remember correctly, I came over here having split nothing, and the splitter had 3.2 hours on it. We'll take a look at that timer here in just a moment. But this is the load of firewood that I got so far on this tank. I'm on the second tank. This is basically tank number 2 on the machine. You guys have any guesses about how many hours that took? And now keep in mind, most of it was done by myself. And that makes a difference because when my son was out here, I was able to stay on that side of the operation station more often. So, again, what are your thoughts? How many hours are on this fuel tank here? My first fuel tank got just over 3 hours of fuel. That was with me piddling around a lot, learning a lot, and not really hustling. This one I've tried to hustle a little bit more to see. Oh yeah, and by the way, do you think this trailer's overloaded? This is not going to get towed down the road. This is just going to simply get towed down my road with the Tacoma. And you may have seen all those pallets on the ground over there. This is going to get loose thrown on those pallets for drying. I want to try to dry them 1 full year. And I bet you out here in Oklahoma, these will be ready for not this upcoming winter, but the next winter. Well, they could actually be ready for this upcoming winter potentially, because we're going to get some pretty hot weather, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. Let's look at the timer. Remember, I want to say, and if it's not correct, I will go ahead and correct it, but I was at 3.2 hours when we started this gas tank. What do we got here? Okay. We are at 5.5 hours, so that means we are at 2.3 hours on this fuel tank. By rights, I think we might have 1 more hour of fuel to go on this thing. I want to see how warm everything is here. Warm. Not too hot. It is warm. I can hold my hand on it. Kind of uncomfortable. A little bit uncomfortable. So hydraulics are getting warm, but I just ran that thing non-stop for about an hour and a half. I feel like on a pretty good load. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and keep going here. And I'm actually going to go ahead and make a different video. I'm going to start bucking up some of this wood because I have some more splitting to do, everybody. That's the best part about having a nice splitter, is I get to buck more. Thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate all of your comments, all of your likes, and all of your views. Because of you guys, I'm where I'm at today, and I'm thankful for that. Have a good one, enjoy your day, and be safe.